Welcome to the Transformer Unicorn Tales. I'm Katie, your ever transforming host. This is a podcast about awesome transformations, food, for thought, and occasionally unicorns. I am so excited that you're here listening to this. Let's get started. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Transformer Unicorn Tales podcast. When you're listening to this episode, I am already on vacation, which means I am recording this before my vacation. So if you have any reactions to this episode, I might react like after my vacation. I don't know yet. But just telling you up front, the episode is called When Should You Take a Break? And yeah, I am on a break. So just leading by example here. But what I want to talk about today is yeah, when do you take a break? When do you follow the advice of hustle, 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 or rest, 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 rest? Um, because you might not notice, I don't know how many episodes you have listened to. But I had a burnout now 2 or 3 years ago. And since then it has been a roller coaster when it comes to that, taking into account your energy levels. So here's the thing, like on the socials, or even if you just talk to people, there are like two voices. Camp one is, hustle, hustle, hustle. If you just work a little bit harder, then you will get those six-figure numbers. You will get everything you want in life. And then there's this camp number two who is like, but we're not here to hustle. We're not here for the rat race. We're here to relax and chill and live on the beach and work from the beach. And sometimes it's just black and white like that, and there's no in between. And especially as you're trying to heal from the shock and the exhaustion of a burnout, when those are the only two voices that you can find and there's nothing in between, you just kind of go, okay, so I'm just going to rest and go on a vacation and just enjoy the beach, and then get so bored that you go, maybe it's time to hustle, and then you go hustle and just keep going, and then you're not making the six figures because obviously you're still exhausted somewhere deep down. So it has been a journey, but I think today, as I'm recording this, it is time to share, because I feel like I'm over that. I feel like I have something to add to people who may be struggling with this as well, and it might work for you as well. So I want to share my 2 cents about this. So my first thing when I had the burnout, people told me, you gotta relax. You gotta relax and just take your time, maybe take a vacation. And even other people who had burnouts and were talking to me were like, I needed 6 months to just go to go abroad and just enjoy a vacation to finally be able to recharge. Um but to be honest, for me, it just brought me even lower and lower to think like that, because it leads to this inaction. It's like your body just freezes up, and that's not exciting for it. Your brain is then not maybe I should get better. Your brain just it's kind of like the principle of use it or lose it. Your brain goes like, okay, then I guess I'll just do nothing here. Um so then what I did was to try, just push. I even did the hell week, if you know that concept. I did a hell week to see how far I can push things now. Um Again, not the solution. I've been pushing before as well. Obviously, that didn't lead to great results. So what do you do? And this is what I found. This is what works for me. Sometimes you need to push. That sounds like someone is just now getting a baby or something. You need to push. But that's a perfect example as well. If you cannot rest in that moment, you need to push. And there are other moments like that. So when the house is on fire, when your life is like in shambles, if someone tells you just relax, manifest shit, I don't know, it's not gonna help. Shit's on fire. You gotta do something. You have to push. Um, but you need to have the energy to push. So what happens is it's not necessarily the rat race, but just like this race of life that you get into sometimes where you just like keep running and running and running and running and nothing is getting better or different. You're just getting more and more tired and just exhausted. So you first have to like fill up the battery and then you can push. Yeah. Even like if you're pregnant, I guess like they tell you like I don't know in movies at least. I've never been there myself. But you just like take a deep breath and push. So that deep breath is like already enough to just like whew, and then you can push. I don't know. Again, I don't know. That's where my thoughts are going right now. So we're going with it. um and and here's the thing. So like of course you get tired when you like you work really hard and everything, but for my brain, the burnt out brain, it was like, oh shit, I'm doing it wrong again, I'm so tired, maybe I should just rest some more, or I don't know, maybe I should not have pushed so much. But then that leads me into just like being stuck and immobile and just like this not helping either. So here is like how I have been trying to like fight through all of that noise and advice to figure out what works for me. Number one is for the ladies specifically, or people who have a period and some kind of cycle throughout the month. I think everyone might have this. But I know as a person with a period and talking to other people with periods that they have this, there is a moment in the month when things are just not so bright and shiny and fast, and I just cannot. Um, so in the past, the world is not built for that. You just have to push through it. You just have to work through it. So I don't do that anymore. I do not have a super exact period, but I have like the app that like kind of like can guess which week it will be, and I just try to plan less and do less during that week. So I take care of my body. I'm not going like, oh shit, that's not a good time. It's never a good time. Let's be honest, it's never a good time. Yeah. So you're just gonna accommodate it to like not feel even worse on top of already feeling kind of down. Um, and so sorry, there's something in my eye if you're watching. I just need to get it out. And when I say do less, I don't necessarily mean do less and just, like lay in bed and be like, well, I'm a woman now and I can't do anything. It's do different. So during my, like any other time of the month, basically, I can record podcasts, I can have meetings with clients, I can do all of those like social things, go to new places, try out new things. And then during that week, what I usually do is maybe catch up on an online course, do more things that are just like in my bubble, but not stop. And maybe I'm going to like acknowledge some people are in super pain, that's not me. Some people have terrible headaches, I have sometimes that as well. I just go with the flow pretty literally. And not just like give up and go, oh, I can't do anything now, well, because look at me being said a woman. But do different. So do things that take care of me. Maybe go for a short walk, maybe lay down for some restorative yoga, because those things keep you alive, that you don't feel like dead inside, that you're like burnt out, but you feel like I am still a person that can function and take care of herself. And it's very more positive than just like I must rest now. Because that did not work for me, at least. They just like I must rest. And I'm not saying you have to be productive and you have to do things. I'm just saying that you have to choose things, or you should choose things that like work for you to take care of you, instead of just like, becoming this victim of whatever is happening to you because it's happening once a month. Like, come on. You're not a victim. It's there every month. You know it's coming. So we can just as well take care of ourselves. Um, so I have been focusing on trying to balance this pushing and going hard for things and then taking it softer when it comes to other moments of the month, for example. Or, when and I'm so proud of this. Like, I have not been sick in ages. I'm going to like knock somewhere. Okay. um, because anytime I feel like, my throat doesn't feel perfect or I just like feel a little bit already under the weather, I take the whole day off. I just go, body, you take your time to figure this stuff out because we're not going down, we're going to go up. And just read or again, like do online courses or whatever works for your brain in that moment. Yeah. And then just take it softer because then next day or the day after, I can like go back to like 100% pushing. And um, that's also something that I learned that, especially after burnout, I found it really hard to trust myself when I felt really good and I could do a lot. Because I thought, yeah, but what if I'm going to overdo it again? So again, it's this balance between the pushing and the taking it softer. And honestly, the last few weeks I felt like so freaking amazing. I just like work all day, like do all things. If I'm new to driving and I just drive to new places and I'm like, what the hell is going on? But I thought, what if I, instead of just questioning myself every single time, like, am I okay? Am I okay? Like, should I be doing this? I just trust the flow. Like, I have been listening to my body now way better than ever before. So I know the signs. I know that if there's something, my body will let me know. So, for example, this morning I woke up feeling a little bit more tired and I thought, okay, I got you. We're listening. We're not going to push so hard today. And that's it. And then I'm recording a podcast now. So I feel like, wait, weren't you going to take it easier? As the day went by, like I ate my breakfast, I woke up nice and slow, took a nice long shower. And then I sat down and I thought I'm just going to read a book. And then my body was like getting like sluggish. My brain was like, I don't know, not really pleasing. And I thought, do you want to record a podcast? And my brain was like, yeah. So, like you can really just have this internal dialogue with yourself. Um, and there are like a few things to like watch out for, of course. Like it's not shaming. So my brain is not like shaming me for like, how dare you take a break now? You should be working. Why are you reading a book in the morning? Isn't it something for the evening? What are you doing? It's not that. It's really that my brain is like, I'm kind of bored. So it's not a negative voice like whispering, yeah? And also when I'm doing things, it's not like from that, like you have to do more, then you will deserve a break. Just one more thing, and then you can have a break. Because I learned the past few years that those are really toxic thoughts. So instead, now it's like, wow, look at me. I get to do this, and I really enjoy this. And I think that's also a really important question. Like, am I enjoying what I'm doing right now in this moment? Be that resting, be that reading a book, taking a long shower, because, even like self care things can be like, doesn't really feel good, but I must rest now? Because then why are you doing it if it doesn't feel good, right? And the same goes for the pushing things. Except there are moments when it does feel uncomfortable. There's like no there's like no easy way out of this, is there? Um yeah, sometimes you have to do the uncomfortable things and push a little bit or take a little bit more rest than you might want to in that moment. And that's again with the toxic voices around. Um, yeah. So another question that I ask myself then is, do I need a break right now? Or am I just avoiding something? Because I have become really good at that at one point. And fun fact, many people know me for being like a real bookworm because I used to read. I still read a lot. I just don't use it anymore as an avoidance mechanism because I used to do that. So I would be like, oh, I should probably reach out to some new clients, or I can just read a book. And yeah, so then I would figure that thing out in my head, and then I would go, okay, so do I actually need a break right now from my work or whatever I'm doing, or am I just avoiding something else? And what I then learned is when I'm avoiding something, I taught my brain to just do that exact thing. So whenever it goes into the avoidance thing, I go, excuse me, I thought we were friends here. We're not doing avoiding things. And then I do that exact thing that I was avoiding. Because, and this is like the magical shit, I feel so much better about doing it then. Because I'm like, look at me, I did it. Like, I noticed that I was avoiding it and I'm doing it, and it's like, just feels good. Um, yeah, so that's like how I have been doing lately, and it just feels so much better. So I'm going to try to like summarize my tips because I think I went all over the place a little bit. So let me just like try to summarize it. Um, yeah, there are periods when you want to push, and there are periods when you want to take it slower, and there are like patterns in that. So you can probably already accommodate at least for the patterns. For example, your period. And it is hard to find balance between the pushing and the taking it softer. And there is a lot of like in between. It doesn't have to be like 100% going and like doing nothing. There's so many like shades of gray in between. Yeah. And a few questions that can help with that is, am I enjoying what I'm doing right now? Whatever it is, work, relax, whatever. And another one is, do I need a break right now? Or am I just avoiding something? Because if you're avoiding something, it's maybe time to do that exact thing. And yeah, if you do too much, that will lead to burnout. And if you do too little, it will lead to feeling like you're stuck and just not alive inside. I'm just gonna say it like that. Yeah, so it is that amazing skill of listening to your body, to listening to your thoughts, and befriending your body and your brain in a way that you can work in a nice way together. And I just really wanted to share this because I'm it's such a good place right now. And if you've listened to my previous episodes, you know that I'm not always in this place. Um, but yeah, it is possible. So I just wanted to be like, this is also possible, guys. We got this. We can get here. Um, yeah. So how I want to end this episode is by telling you that I am on vacation when this episode comes out. So I am taking an actual break. There are a few reasons for that. So there's a lot going on in my personal life right now as this episode goes out, by the way. But also like leading up to that time, of course. So I just know that I need more time to focus on that, and something has to give. So I decided to just take a break from the podcast, from my work, so that I can focus on that. um it's the dark months, and I know that I have to take a little bit more better care of myself in ways that are not work related, because then I might use them as avoidance mechanisms. And yeah, I have also been noticing that I have been using social media, my website and stuff like that as an avoidance mechanism already, to be like, there's like things in my body, just telling me like, maybe we should take a little bit slower, like a little bit longer break. Just close your eyes, please, for a few seconds. And then I would keep scrolling. So I know deep down that I need this break right now. So I'm gonna take the break. And I will be back in January again with some amazing news because like I said, the last 3 weeks I was feeling really good, and I have already prepared some cool things for January so that I can really just take the break as a break. Yeah, and there will be one more episode this year after this episode, and that will also be recorded before my break. So when you hear this and hear the next episode, know that like I'm not there. I'm on vacation already. But of course, feel free to react and reach out. I'm just letting you know that it might take a little bit longer to get back to you. And Yeah, so there are amazing things coming in January, but this is it for today. And if you are not in an amazing spot right now, I have an episode called You Are Not Alone. Please listen to that one. Even I listen to that sometimes as well. It's a really great pickup because I know like happy pippity pippity is not sometimes what you need or want to listen to when you don't feel so good. But yeah, and I want to end this episode by saying if you feel like you need a break right now and you're not in a place where you can give yourself that permission, I'm gonna give you the permission. It's okay to take a break. Everything will be fine. There are always more things to do, and it's never a great time to take a break. So just take it when you need it. It's going to be fine. That's it for today. I think you're awesome.